Today I want to talk to you about the most talked about thing in my home, without a doubt. And I can bet it's not what you think. I'm Katie from Hospitable Homemaker, and I'm glad you're here. So the most popular, most talked about physical item in my house is not what you might imagine. It's not some heirloom beautiful piece of furniture or a calligraphy verse or a beautiful painting. It's actually a very simple thing. It's a note card that hangs on my refrigerator, and it has for several years. So this note card says, "Be willing to be inconvenienced." I wrote it down after reading something probably 4 years ago. And I wish that I remembered whether or not it was just an idea that came into my head when I read it, or if it was actually a quote from something. I don't know. I just remember having this concept and writing it down because I knew I needed to remember to be willing to be inconvenienced. And so I put this on my refrigerator so that I would remember every time I looked at my refrigerator, which is constant because I have 2 young children and there's always a need for a snack or something. And I wanted to be able to remember that I needed to be willing to be inconvenienced because I am tied to my to-do list. It's just reality. It's who I am, and it is how I function. And I look at a list and I write down everything I need to do, including my people. I put my people and any other interactions on my list. And if it isn't on the list, it really can't get done. And I struggle with being willing to be inconvenienced so much. But this reminder has really helped me. And it is amazing to me. I thought I was kind of alone in that, when I wrote it down. So I need to remember this. But it has been amazing to me how many friends who have come into my home have said, "I really love that. I really appreciate that." That is a really helpful reminder. I even had a sweet friend just last week ask me if I would form it into a sign for her to make so she can hang it in her house. And I love that. I may actually make 2 of them so I can have one as well. But yes, so it's a simple note card that just says, "Be willing to be inconvenienced." So what does that mean? What does that look like? How can I be willing to be inconvenienced? Because to be honest, I don't like to be inconvenienced. I have what I need to do, and I'm going to do it. But I think the gospel calls us to more than that. The gospel calls us to love and joy in the midst of circumstances that aren't guaranteed and aren't convenient. Think about Christ, right? What about his life was convenient? Was it convenient when he was exhausted to have all of these people coming and badgering him, asking him for help, help, help? Nobody saw compassion. He gave them compassion because he saw that they were like sheep without a shepherd. And so he was compassionate and kind and merciful, and he healed. And even in the midst of exhaustion and a desire and a need for physical relief, he was willing to be inconvenienced. When children came and jumped on him and wanted to be with him and spend time with him, and the disciples told him to get away, obviously they thought, he has better things to do. He said, no, I want to be with these children. And he didn't even consider it an inconvenience. So for me, that means that when my kids are nagging, asking me for something over and over again, or when a need arises and I have an opportunity to be a blessing to somebody else and it just doesn't fit my schedule, or whatever the case may be, I need to be willing to be inconvenienced, because the gospel isn't really about my convenience, is it? The gospel is about glorifying God. And you know what? He is sovereign over our circumstances. If he wants you to accomplish the things on your to-do list, he'll give you the time to do it. But maybe, just maybe, he's going to break into the mundane with an opportunity for you to be a blessing and to give to someone else what they need. And how much more amazing would that be than just following your to-do list? So I wanted to encourage you today. If you have a note card handy, I think this is a really helpful thing to just write down, "Be willing to be inconvenienced." And it might just become the most talked about thing in your home too.